feeling alone isn't just about not being physically affectionate. It's also the emotional intimacy that can cause this loneliness, feeling like you're disconnected emotionally, feeling unseen, unsupported, or like everything falls on you, right? Like the mental load falls on you, remembering everything, planning everything, noticing everything. It can really wear on you and contribute to feeling alone in your marriage, feeling like you don't have a partner in this, or feeling like you don't have this deep connection with each other and you're literally just co-parenting roommates.
Welcome to the Marriage and Motherhood Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Perda. As a marriage coach who's married with 3 kids, I know how much parenthood could change a marriage. If flirting, laughing, and having fun together feels like a thing of the past, then I'm here to teach you that marriage doesn't have to feel so hard with your parents, and your marriage can thrive even when you're in the season of raising kids. Whether you're in a good place in your marriage and you just want to continue growing together, or you're wondering if you even like your spouse anymore, this podcast has something for you. Join me here each week as we dive into what it takes to help your marriage grow, and maybe even do a 180. You'll learn ways to handle conflict better, bring that spark back into your relationship, as well as learn how to improve other areas of your life from my lovely guest experts. Are you ready for the next stage of your life in marriage? Let's dive in.
Hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Marriage and Motherhood Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about a very common experience after you get married, after you have kids, and you experience this shift in your relationship, and you're wondering, how did this happen? When did this happen? And you're confused about how you got here, but you know that you don't like it, but you don't know exactly what to do. And that's feeling alone in your marriage after having kids. This is more common than you think. If you actually ask your girlfriends who have kids, they will likely understand what you mean by that and share with you that they either also feel that way or they have felt that way. So in this episode, I'm going to dive into what's going on, why it's happening, signs that you might be feeling this way, and how you can start to change this. So a common phrase that I hear in my clients is that they feel like they're more like roommates than romantic partners. I have definitely been in this position before, and sometimes we kind of slip into it as life gets busy, which happens when you have kids. And feeling alone isn't just about not being physically affectionate. It's also the emotional intimacy that can cause this loneliness, feeling like you're disconnected emotionally, feeling unseen, unsupported, or like everything falls on you, right? Like the mental load falls on you, remembering everything, planning everything, noticing everything. It can really wear on you and contribute to this feeling of feeling alone in your marriage, feeling like you don't have a partner in this, or feeling like you don't have this deep connection with each other and you're literally just co-parenting roommates. And I just want to preface this episode with, if you are feeling lonely in your marriage, it doesn't mean that your marriage is done for, that it's doomed forever. It just means that there's a gap. It just means that there's challenges that you two need to overcome that need some attention, and perhaps even some foundational relationship skills that need to be built up and practiced. So let's talk about why this happens, because I know this can seem like it happens all of a sudden and you're just like, how did we get here? Right? That's a very common question that I get asked when clients first come to me. I don't even know how we got here. I'm not sure what happened. We were so good before kids, and then kids happen, and now we're here. Now we're wondering, do we like each other? I know we love each other, but do we like each other? And so the reason why this is happening is because life with kids is a huge change from life without kids. It's a very big transition that we aren't always prepared for. I feel like you can read all the baby books, you can learn all of these different things, talk to a lot of people, but until you're living that life, you don't ever fully know. It's one of those like if you know kind of things. Once you experience it, then you know. But before that point, you can just speculate and hope for the best, right? But after kids, in the marriage front, your roles are changing, right? You're not just partners together, you're now co-parents. You now have a lot more decisions to make together. You now have to be on the same page with more things and have conversations about topics that maybe you never even thought of having before. You start realizing things are important to you that you didn't think were important before, or you just didn't think of before. Priorities change. The way you communicate becomes even more critical. And so without those healthy communication skills, you can have a lot of communication breakdowns, which lead to arguments. And moms, especially, can carry a heavy mental and emotional load. Just societally, we have been taught to take care of other people. And so our brains are not only biologically wired differently, like we have different skill sets, we are better at thinking about a bunch of things all at once, and we notice those fine details that men don't often notice. But societally, we have been groomed to be this way. And so, because of this, we can often become the default parent, the house manager, the emotional regulator for kids, because it looks like we're just better at it when really we've had more practice. We've been told and taught this from an early age. And so, of course, it's going to feel easier for us because we've done it longer. We have more context, we have more experience. And also, this work has been the expectation put on women for a very long time. And so when things look easier for one person, it's like, oh yeah, let's just play to our strengths. You handle that. Or we think, oh, well, I naturally am better at this. I think a certain way that helps this be easier for us. So I should just take this on. And it can often be an unspoken agreement between you two. But after a while, it's like, wait a minute, what happened? How come I'm doing all this? Which can breed resentment, right? And taking on being a default parent and all these responsibilities can often lead to a loss of identity for moms. I know I've been there. I know all of my female clients have been here as well, where after kids, you're like, I don't even know who I am. I don't have any hobbies. I don't even remember what a hobby is. I don't remember what I like. I just am fully entrenched in motherhood. I know what my kids need. I know what they like. And I'm just fully in their world, doing what I need to help enrich their lives and make their lives good. But then I, as a mom, become an afterthought or not a thought at all. And so this sense of disconnection with ourself then extends to our marriage, because our marriage is a mirror of our relationship with ourselves. Okay. And I actually want you to pause and sit with that. Your marriage is a mirror of your relationship with yourself. So if you are not happy in your marriage, instead of first going to your husband and saying, I'm unhappy, and these are the reasons why, I want you to sit with yourself and ask yourself, I'm unhappy in my marriage. Are there things that I'm unhappy about my life? Like, I'm not taking care of myself. I don't remember the last time I really laughed or did something that I was passionate about. These are really good clues, because when we feel good, those things that feel like a big deal in your marriage, they carry less weight because they don't feel as heavy on us because we have a lot of good things going on in our life. But when we have an absence of positivity, passion, creativity, excitement, and joy and peace in our lives, that's when those little things that annoy us about our partners become bigger things. Okay. And so beyond that, another reason why is that a lot of couples have not learned how to stay connected after kids, because before kids, it was really easy. It was just the two of you. You had all the time in the world. You had all the energy in the world. And it was just effortless. Anytime you hang out, it was a good time. But now the kids are here. and there's more stress, there's less time, there's less energy, and you're just feeling stretched thin. And so it's easy for connection to fade with your partner because you two have not been taught or have not realized how much intentional effort it takes to stay connected in your marriage. It's not like once in a while we'll connect and that'll be enough. If there is not consistent nurturing going on in the marriage, the connection will dwindle because it's super easy to assume like, oh, this is just a phase that we're in. Right now, it's all about taking care of the kids. But what ends up happening is, yeah, you're trying to be good parents. You're trying to accept the season that you're in, but you're not realizing the role that your marriage plays in your experience as parents and your experience, because when you two feel connected, that's what's going to help you to be better parents together. That's what's going to help you be happier with your kids. And that's what's going to prevent the burnout, the resentment, the emotional disconnect between you two. So, yeah, I know you think you're sacrificing your marriage to become better parents, but there is a way for you to be great parents while also still nurturing your marriage. It doesn't mean you have to pick one or the other. It's just finding a way that works for your lifestyle where you can devote effective quality time with your kids and also do the same for your marriage so they can both thrive at the same time. So common signs that you are feeling this loneliness in your marriage after kids is feeling touched out, but also wanting that affection from your spouse. You're physically with each other all the time, but you don't feel connected as a couple. You avoid bringing things up because it's just going to lead to arguing or one person shutting down. And you just want to make sure that even though you don't feel deeply connected, at least you feel okay with each other. You also envy couples that you see flirt and laugh together and enjoy each other's company. Or maybe it comes out as anger or frustration or annoyance, but really it's jealousy. You're like, oh, do they have to do that? Why are they all over each other? But really, maybe deep inside, you're like, why don't I have that? What's wrong with us? How come we can't be like that? Right? And then, of course, maybe you think, I didn't sign up to do this alone. What happened to my partner? I feel like all this is falling on me. Okay, so those are some of the most common signs that you might be experiencing this. And so, how do you get out of this, right? Because this seems like you're in a rut. Nobody likes to be in a rut, right? You've got to start rebuilding that connection. And I don't mean just like, oh, like let's do all these grand gestures to renew our love, right? No, it starts with the small moments, the moments that seem like they don't matter, but actually matter the most because there's more of those opportunities than there are opportunities for you to go on a date or to go on a solo vacation with your partner with no kids. It starts with those micro connections that I talk about so much, those micro connections that are full of intent, right? Turning a Costco run into a date, turning a night at home while the kids are asleep into an opportunity to have a fun conversation with your spouse, a night full of connection and adventure, like playing a board game, playing a video game together, holding hands in the car, or going on a walk with each other. Even if the kids are around, have them walk slightly ahead, or if they're still in a stroller, cool. Let them occupy themselves by looking at the park in the world or the trail or wherever you are while you guys have a talk about things and you're uninterrupted. This is all about making the best out of the small moments that you have together and not taking them for granted. Even as simple as when you walk by each other in the house, maybe you end up in the same room together, maybe you see each other in passing, and simple gesture of giving them a hug or touching their shoulder or doing something to acknowledge that they're there, that you see them, that you notice them. Even little things like picking up their favorite snack when you go to the grocery store, just to let them know that you've thought of them. There are so many different ways that you can nurture your marriage just by being thoughtful, right? Think about back to when you were dating. It's like almost everything reminded you of them, and you would do things just because. Can you bring that just because nature back into your relationship? Even, 3, 4, 5 kids in, can you keep that spark alive by still keeping them top of mind here and there? Just like we do with our kids. Another thing you can do is learning how to ask for what you need in a clear and respectful way. This is a game changer because when we get complacent, what do we do most? And our kids do this to us too, and we do this to our kids, is sometimes when we feel stressed out, frustrated, we use the worst communication skills with our loved ones. It's like we throw out the healthy ones that we know and we use the toxic ones because we're just over it. We don't have the energy. We don't feel like we need to try because we're family. So we kind of just do what our instincts want us to do because we're feeling emotional, we're feeling stressed out, and we just don't want to put in the effort. Whereas if it was someone visiting, we would muster up our energy to be as nice and polite and respectful as possible. And we really need to break out of that habit. Easier said than done, but totally possible. And that is one thing I will say that's going to have a very big impact when you start become more intentional about how you communicate, even when you are upset, even when you're frustrated, even when you are stressed out. Okay. And doing so is going to help you create these new, healthier patterns with how you communicate with each other, how you show your appreciation for each other so that you feel seen and your partner feels seen. And then, of course, sharing the responsibility of life together so that you do feel like you have a partner. So you do feel like you have someone to lean on. And all of those things can reignite that connection that you two feel because you feel like you have each other's backs. So yes, you can be in the season of feeling like you're in survival mode because the kids constantly need stuff and you constantly need to take them places and think of things for them. But you can do that and still nurture your marriage. This is not an either or situation. This is a and situation. We're in a tough season and I still want to be able to have a healthy marriage where decades later, I can feel like we have really grown together and we are stronger than ever. Not feel like this is a hard season and a marriage has to take a back seat and cross your fingers and hope that it's still going to be lively when I come up for air. Okay. If you feel like you are drowning in motherhood, then it's time to start addressing how to do motherhood differently, whether it is getting more support, whether it is approaching motherhood differently by lightening your load, lowering your expectations and standards for yourself, and really letting your partner in so that you can get the proper support because guess what? It's also their kid. It's also their house. And if you're feeling resentment of any kind when they go out with their friends or they go take time for themselves, that's your sign of you needing to take time for yourself. So if you're not doing anything for yourself right now, start there. Okay. It doesn't make you any less of a mom to take time for yourself. In fact, it actually helps you become a better mom and a better wife because you are present to life. You're not just thinking about everybody else. You're also remembering, oh, I matter too. I can take care of your needs and my needs. I can teach you how to take care of yourself while also prioritizing myself. And honestly, none of us want to raise selfish kids, right? And part of that is setting those boundaries with your kids and saying, hey, I would like to eat breakfast. So wait until I'm done before you ask me for anything else because you've already eaten, right? I have been getting better at this over the last, 5, 6 years. And I will say it's a game changer. It's like that phrase where like it's better to teach someone how to fish than to just give them a fish, right? Because if you teach them how to fish, they can then do it on their own and you can just handle yourself and you teach them an invaluable life lesson that they get to carry on for the rest of their lives. Whereas if you're constantly doing things for your kids, instead of teaching them that independence, giving them that space to learn, you then with time get to get more time back to yourself, get more energy back to yourself, because you matter too, right? You also are a person in the family, and you are what I believe the heartbeat of the family. So if you're burnt out, that's going to trickle down to everybody else in the family. The tone, the vibe of your family won't be great because you're upset all the time. You're cranky, you're frustrated. I know that's not the vibe you're trying to create in your home. You want a safe haven for everybody. And in order to have that, you need to make sure that you know how to do that for yourself first. Okay? So if you've tried to talk to your partner, but you feel like nothing is changing, and you feel like you're carrying everything all on your own, the mental load, the emotional load of your marriage and the family, and you want to feel connected and desired again, but you don't know how to get there, and you're tired of feeling alone, but you're ready for guidance so that you can create the relationship that you have dreamed of for yourself, that you long for, that you enviously see other people have, then I would like you to book a clarity call with me. You do not have to feel alone in your marriage. You don't have to feel unappreciated in your marriage. I help moms like you go from surviving the day-to-day to actually enjoying their marriage, enjoying motherhood. And even if your partner isn't ready for coaching, if you're ready to feel like teammates again, to be heard, supported, and emotionally connected, then let's talk. I do individual one-on-one coaching as well as couples coaching, okay? So I don't want you thinking that, oh, my husband doesn't want to be a part of that, so my marriage is screwed. Fun fact, when I started marriage coaching, like how many years ago now? 7 years ago, I actually only worked one-on-one. So all of my clients were women. It's only been a few years since I've started working with couples. So I've got lots of clients. I can tell you that you can make change in your marriage. Now, if he is down to do coaching, obviously that's going to be even better, right? Because we're going to be approaching things from both angles, and you are going to be sure that you guys can get on the same page. But that doesn't mean that you're at a loss if he's not interested or not ready, okay? So if you're ready to take that first step to reinvigorating your marriage and setting it up for success, really having a solid foundation for your marriage to continue growing for decades to come, I would love to chat with you. Book a clarity call. During this call, you can gain clarity on what is going on and what next steps I recommend for helping your marriage see the growth that you want and how coaching can help get you there. Okay, that's all I have for you today. I hope this was helpful. Let me know what you try and go book a clarity call. And if you know someone that would benefit from listening to this episode, please share it with them. Or better yet, share this in your stories and tag me so I can say hi and say thank you. And I'll catch you back here on the next episode. Bye.
That's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, please send me a message over on Instagram at Michelle Perta Coaching to let me know what you loved most about it. Hearing from my listeners is my absolute favorite. And if you've been loving this podcast, please leave a rating and review. This will help people like you find the show and get the help they need. Catch you here on the next episode. Bye.